Hey, what's up, y'all? Let's talk about how my best friend ruined my credit. But first, I need you to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We need to keep feeding that YouTube algorithm. But check it out. My best friend ruined my credit because essentially I co-signed for something that I had no business co-signing for. Keep in mind, no matter how close you are to this person, I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, your significant other, your best friend, cousin, auntie, uncle, do not co-sign for anyone. You're going to have many years of regret, and there will be a big hole that you're probably going to keep digging yourself deeper and deeper in. You got to treat yourself like a bank. When you walk around, you are a bank. Any financial decision that you're going to make, you have to operate like a bank. If a bank isn't willing to approve this person for a loan, for that car, for that piece of jewelry, then you need to stay far away. Even if that's risking the relationship, as far as the friendship or the relationship with your parent, it's only going to be temporary. They'll get over it. Maybe they'll find another sucker to co-sign for them. But you don't want to ruin your financial standing with any of these banks because when it comes time for you to go buy that car or get approved for an apartment or get approved for a mortgage or get approved for anything that revolves around your credit, you're going to be screwed. I learned the hard way. I was 19. I got kicked out of my house and I was living with my brother and his family at the time. And my brother had his girlfriend, had his son, had his stepson. And they let me crash on the couch. They let me crash on the floor of the living room. And I'm forever grateful for it. But I know I wanted more out of my life. I know I needed to get things done. So I couldn't just sit around moping all day, being upset. Had to go and make something out of my life. And at the time, I was working at Home Depot and wasn't making much. I think I was working like from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. And shout out to my girl, Jules. She used to give me a ride every single morning. She'd be at my house at like 4:40, 4:45. And I'm forever appreciative for that as well. And I had the bright idea to talk to my best friend because he had some issues going on at home and he was ready to move out. And the difference between him and I is he chose to leave. I had no choice in my situation. And he didn't have to leave. You know, he just had a few words with his parents. But I was desperate. I needed a place. And, you know, we lived 10 minutes outside of D.C. So even back then, the rent was super, super high. And it's hard for a person that's single, no career, no college education, and you're just taking whatever job you can get at that point. And it's really impossible. So long story short, him, my mom, and I went to go view the apartment. I was consulting with my mom, like, what do you think? What do you think? She was like, you know, go ahead and do it. If you feel like this is the best decision. I'm like, all right, we're doing it. We're going in there. We're looking. He's already making plans saying, I'm going to get the master bedroom. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. We're just like, whatever. We'll see. Because we already agreed, him and I already agreed that I was going to be paying more. So, you know, I'll get the bigger room. I'll get the master bedroom. It was like a 1 bedroom and a den or 2 bedrooms. So he would get the smaller room. But, you know, we talked about it. We worked it out. My mom went that way. Him and I went back to the rental office. And this is where I made probably the worst decision in my life. We're sitting there. The salesperson, the leasing person is telling us like, this is the best deal ever. You guys need to sign right here. We don't get these type of units every day. Please sign, because if you don't sign now, you're going to have to wait until 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. And I'm like, man, I need to get out of my brother's place. I'm just desperate. I'm like, let's sign. So he runs our credit, and my man, he's texting me the whole time, but I'm like engaged with the salesperson. He's texting me like, hey bro, we gotta talk. Bro, come on, son. We gotta talk, son. We gotta talk. I'm like, I'm ignoring the text because, you know, this is like my first big boy, big man decision I ever made. I'm 19. I'm thinking I know everything. I'm like, oh, I'm official. I'm signing my first lease. Like we're gonna be good to go. Ain't nothing to worry about. Like, this is going to be a good decision. No, it wasn't. Man, they hit that boy's credit. That thing went. I was like, whoa. He was like, when I say he, the salesperson was like, you want the good news or the bad news? I was like, I'm the type of person, give me the bad news first. That way I can navigate through the situation. We'll figure it out. Worst case scenario, like, give me that first. That way my hopes aren't all the way up here. Like, just go ahead and crush my hopes now. He's like, the bad news is, your boy, there's no way I can improve him. I don't even think my man had a credit number. Like, I think it was just 3 dashes. I was like, snap. I'm like, but I need this place. Like, it's not like my brother was telling me to get out or anything, but I was like, I'm a man, you know. Got me a girl now. She's my wife now, so it all worked out. Got me a girl. She lives up the street. I'm going to have a bachelor pad. I want her to come through. I want all my friends to come through, them to come check out the spot. I'm like, no, we gotta come up with some type of decision. No, there's no way that I'm leaving here. And you told me yourself, sir, you said this is the best deal ever. There's no way I'm leaving this place without signing the lease. He's like, the good news is you're approved, so we can get you in today. And I'm like, bro, I can't afford to live in a 2-bedroom by myself. This is why I got this guy here for. And for full transparency, if you guys know me, you know who I'm talking about. Me and him, we're not even cool no more. We're not even friends. This is one of the things that led to our falling out. And like a dummy, I signed the lease and me and my boy agreed to move in. Second worst decision. First decision was putting my signature on the page. Second worst decision was actually going through with it, because this shaped me. At the time, I thought for the worst, but it shaped me to who I am today. And this is why I don't co-sign for anybody. The first 2 or 3 months was excellent. You know, he was paying the rent. My man was working 2 jobs. I had my little job at the airport and eventually got a security job. So, you know, we're banging the bills out. Everything's looking good. 4th month comes. He's short like $250 on the rent. I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to be a good friend. I'm being loyal. You know, he didn't have to leave his house. He's doing a favor for me. And that's how messed up the relationship was, because I was thinking like, hey, he didn't have to leave his crib. He's doing this for me. So, man, I got you this month. Same thing happened next month. Month 5, $300 short. I'm like, I got you, bro. After that, things just started going downhill. Me being young, impressionable, still 19, still dumb, I wanted to get a car. And I'm like, man, if he's not paying his portion of the rent, forget it. I got to save up. I can't keep contributing those $300, $400 to his portion of the rent. I need to go get a whip. I need to go get a car. So I stopped paying his portion of the rent. If he's coming $200, $250, that's what it is. We're going to live with it. I didn't think there would be any consequences because, I could just blame him. He's the one that's not paying the rent. You see, I'm coming with my portion, but dummy, whose name is on the lease? Your name, Devin Anthony Gordon. That's your name on the lease. You need to deal with that. And me being the dummy that I was at the time, man, that stuff hurt me. The fees just kept racking up. It got to the point where we owed like between $4,500 to $6,000. And man, I went to the leasing office pleading that it wasn't my fault. It was my roommate's fault. Mr. Gordon, according to this lease document, you don't have any roommates. It's you on this lease. So you're on the hook for $6,000. You can either pay the money or you can roll out. And I was like, and they kept saying $6. I'm like, $600? I'm trying to play dumb, thinking I can get over on them. They're like, nah, $6,000. Have it in a few days or you got to get out of there. They even put like a locksmith on the door. Like the locksmith came and they put like a chain on the door. So we couldn't even get in the apartment one time. That's the only time. That time and another time is the only time he's ever given me money since that lease. And it's going on almost 10, 11 years at this point. I shut that man down. I was like, bro, you're going to have to pay for this locksmith because our stuff's in there and we're about to be out of here. So we need to get all we can and run like a thief in the night. Long story short, we had a falling out because of that. We had a falling out for some furniture. I left the furniture. Thankfully, before this stuff hit my credit, I was able to get a studio apartment in the neighborhood I grew up in. And I was able to find something affordable. I was able to lay low over there. And I was pretty much in between 2 places because I was like, I can't have this stuff hit my credit. I was starting to understand how credit worked. So I beat those apartment people to the punch and went and got my studio. I feel like the coast is clear. I'll pay them back whenever. And me and my guy, we came up with a payment agreement and he paid me one other time after that. And and I never seen a payment till this day. It is February 10th, 2023, bro. You still owe me like $4,500, $5,000, but I can't be mad because I have to accept accountability for my decisions. I should have just not gotten a place and thugged it out at my brother's house or whoever's house, or just got my own studio. Like, I could afford a studio. I should have got a studio apartment and never went down that road. And the whole messed up thing about this is years pass by. It's 2016, 2017. I'm on my way to work. I go stop at the gas station. I hit my little debit card, and it's making a noise. So I go in the gas station, swipe it. Clerk's like, man, your car's declined. I'm like, what do you mean my car's declined? I'm getting like super defensive. Man, you know, we got a fake. I got $3, $4, $5, $6,000 in the account, and the whole time I really only had like $40, $50 enough to get me to work. But I'm like, man, I got money in this account. How you gonna tell me I don't got no money? So I pull up my bank statement. I'm sitting there arguing with him. He's telling me, get out the store, get out here, do this, do that. I'm like looking at my bank statement and pulled up the app. I got real quiet. I was like, shoot. I just rolled out. I called my boy because we have some payment agreement, and this is like 2-3 years after the fact. I'm like, no, I take that back. I called the bank first. I called the bank, and I'm like yelling at the bank. I'm like, this guy at the gas station trying to say I don't got no money. What happened to my money? Who took my money? I see a block. My account is frozen. My whole account was frozen. They're like, Mr. Gordon, it looks like some law firm has frozen your account, and until they receive payment, there's nothing we can do about it. Like, your account is frozen until they hit this amount. I'm like, man, y'all gotta be kidding me. So what am I working for? And I'm ignorant. I'm talking to the bank people any type of way, not knowing it was my fault, except accountability, of course. And I'm talking ignorant to the bank people, like blaming them for my problems, blaming them for my issues. But that lawyer came and cleaned me out. She was trying to take all my little assets. I ain't have no assets then. I just had a little bank account and like a 2004, 2005 Hyundai Sonata. So come and get it. Come and take it. Like, come and take it. But I called my guy and I'm like, bro, can you please help me? I'm at the gas station. I know you're in Laurel. Like, we live in Maryland. So I'm like, I know, bro, you in Laurel. I'm in Bowie right now. Like, please. I get paid this Friday. Please. They froze my account because of the apartment. You remember we owe the apartment. We got to pay these people back. But just please slide me a dub. Slide me $20. Slide me $25 so I can get to work. And I promise I'll pay you back Friday. You remember the apartment people that we owed in Greenbelt? Bro, they came and took everything. Like, I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating the situation. I'm like, oh my God. Like, they took everything. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? He's like, he's listening. He just hit me with, man, that's crazy. But let me call you back, bro. Hung the phone up. That man ain't never come to the gas station. My girl at the time, which is my wife, she came, helped your boy out. That was probably like the most embarrassing, most degrading moment in my life, to not only have to ask my girl to like for some gas money, but to know that I literally had nothing to my name. All because of a decision I made at 19 years old. And it was affecting me. It was affecting my credit. It prevented me from getting jobs. It prevented me from, even if I wanted to get a new car, like it just prevented me from doing so much, getting apartments, working for the government. I couldn't do any of that because a stupid lien of $5,000, $6,000 was on my credit report. And instead of me addressing the situation back then and just paying the apartment people and paying them, working out a payment arrangement, they sold the collection. And that lawyer, she didn't care. I tried to plead with her. I tried everything in the book to try to get that off my credit. And she was like, look, you either pay it or this thing's going to sit on your credit for, what is it, like 6-7 years. And eventually I paid it back. I wanted to fight my friend. I wanted to hurt him something serious, something bad, but I knew if I do that, I wasn't gonna get my money. But I'm not condoning violence, but even though I didn't do that, I still didn't get my money. My girl helped me pay it back, and that's why today, like, she won't have to worry for anything. Whatever she wants, I don't care the cost, I'm going to get it for her, because when I was at my lowest point, she's the one that came through and pretty much paid, if not half of it, at least 35% of the debt that I created. And I couldn't blame my friend, but this goes to show you that co-signing for people will not end well. It tarnished our friendship. We had a falling out over so many other things, but that was still like a triggering point for me. And, I don't lose sleep over it now. Like, I don't have debt like that anymore. And I will never, ever co-sign for anybody. I will never put myself in that predicament. The only one I will co-sign for is my wife. I won't even co-sign for my mom. I won't co-sign for my grandmother. I won't co-sign for my aunt. And those are the three other